For decades, we've been told that nuts are the perfect healthy snack. They're portable, crunchy, and packed with nutrients. But here's the truth. Most people don't realize not all nuts are created equal, and after the age of 60, the difference between the right ones and the wrong ones can be dramatic. Some nuts can quietly damage your liver, stress your heart, or fog up your brain, while others can sharpen memory, protect your arteries, and even help you sleep through the night. Think about it. Have you ever noticed more joint pain, sudden brain fog, or digestive troubles after eating certain nuts? Maybe you blamed age, stress, or sleep, but sometimes the food on your plate plays a bigger role than you think. The challenge is that many nuts look innocent. They're marketed as heart healthy, tossed into snack bars, or sprinkled into salads without much thought. But once you hit 60, your body changes. Your liver works a little slower, your kidneys are more sensitive, and your heart demands more careful protection. That means the nuts that worked for you at the 30th of May not serve you well at 60 and beyond. In this video, we'll break it down clearly. The 4 nuts you should limit or avoid after 60, and the 4 nuts that can actually support your health, memory, and energy every single day. Some of these may surprise you because they carry reputations for being healthy, but the truth for older adults is different. And stay tuned until the end, because I'll give you a simple challenge, a daily nut swap that could protect your brain, your heart, and your future self. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Which nuts do you snack on most often? Drop your answer in the comments because I'll be replying with personalized tips for seniors looking to stay sharp and healthy. Let's start with a nut that feels luxurious and indulgent, the macadamia. Just the name makes you think of tropical vacations and buttery cookies. And yes, macadamias are delicious, but once you're past 60, they may not be doing your body any favors. Here's why. Macadamias are extremely high in fats. Now, healthy fats are important, but the problem is quantity and type. For older adults, the liver doesn't process fats as efficiently as it once did. What used to be a smooth metabolic process in your 30s or 40s now takes more effort. Research shows that regular consumption of macadamias in older populations may lead to elevated triglyceride levels and cholesterol. That combination quietly increases the risk of artery blockage, putting unnecessary strain on the heart. It doesn't stop there. Macadamias are also high in phosphorus, a mineral that's essential in small amounts but risky in excess, especially for seniors. Why? Because high phosphorus can burden the kidneys, and aging kidneys are already working overtime. Elevated phosphorus can contribute to artery calcification, which stiffens blood vessels and raises cardiovascular risks. Now, does this mean you can never touch another macadamia nut? Not necessarily. But it does mean that snacking on them daily or in large amounts is not wise once you're in your 60s and beyond. A few here and there as a treat is fine, but don't let them be your go-to snack. Think of macadamias as a luxury to enjoy once in a while, not a staple in your pantry. And as you'll see in a moment, there are far better nut options that actively support your brain and your heart without adding hidden risks. But before we get there, let's move to another nut that's often praised for its benefits but can backfire badly if you're not careful. Brazil nuts are famous for one thing: their sky-high selenium content. Selenium is a trace mineral that the body needs in very small amounts. It supports thyroid function, boosts immunity, and protects against oxidative stress. Sounds wonderful, right? But here's the catch. Brazil nuts contain so much selenium that it's incredibly easy to overdo it. Just one Brazil nut can contain anywhere from 68 to 90 micrograms of selenium. The recommended daily intake for adults is only about 55 micrograms. That means that eating just 2 or 3 Brazil nuts can push you far above your safe daily limit. And if you make them a habit, the long-term effects can be serious. Selenium toxicity is linked to symptoms like hair loss, brittle nails, tremors, digestive problems, and even neurological issues such as confusion or memory changes. For seniors, the risk goes further. Brazil nuts can interfere with heart rhythm, especially in people who already have cardiovascular conditions or are sensitive to high barium absorption. Instead of protecting your heart, they may disrupt it. That's why Brazil nuts are what I call a dangerous health halo food. They look like a power snack and are often included in mixed nut packs. But for people over 60, the risk of selenium overload far outweighs the benefit. If you love them, one nut once in a while is safe, but definitely not daily. When you see them in a trail mix, it's smarter to pick around them than to toss them in by the handful. Now, if you thought Brazil nuts were risky, the next nut on our list is one almost everyone eats without a second thought. And the danger isn't just what's inside the nut, it's what grows on it. Here's a surprise. Peanuts aren't even real nuts. They're legumes, cousins to beans and lentils, but because they're cheap and everywhere, peanut butter, snack bars, roasted packs at gas stations, they're often seen as a staple snack. Unfortunately, peanuts come with some hidden dangers, especially for older adults. First, peanuts are notorious carriers of aflatoxin, a mold toxin that can grow on legumes and grains. Aflatoxin is a serious concern for liver health, and while young bodies can sometimes detoxify it, older livers may not handle the load as well. Long-term exposure can increase the risk of liver stress and damage, which is the last thing you want after 60. Second, peanuts are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6s aren't bad by themselves, but the Western diet already provides way too much of them compared to omega-3s. That imbalance fuels inflammation, and inflammation shows up in the body as joint pain, fatigue, brain fog, and higher risk of chronic conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Add it all together, aflatoxin exposure plus omega-6 overload, and you've got a snack that quietly works against your health goals. Yes, peanuts have protein and fiber, but for seniors, the risks outweigh the rewards. Peanut butter deserves special mention too. Beyond the aflatoxin risk, most peanut butter brands are loaded with added sugar, hydrogenated oils, and salt. That combination leads to blood sugar spikes, weight gain, and more strain on the cardiovascular system. If you've been relying on peanuts as your go-to nut, it's time to reconsider. Luckily, in just a few minutes, we'll talk about safer, more powerful nuts that can replace them and actually fight inflammation instead of fueling it. But first, let's talk about the nut that tops the list of foods to avoid after 60. Cashews are creamy, versatile, and beloved in everything from curries to dairy-free cheese recipes. But beneath that smooth texture lies a set of problems that make cashews risky for seniors. The first issue is oxalates. Cashews are high in these compounds, which can contribute to kidney stones. And kidney stones become more common as we age. If you've ever experienced one, you know the pain isn't something you want to repeat. Eating cashews regularly raises your risk, especially if you're already prone to kidney issues. Second, cashews can spike blood sugar. For people managing pre-diabetes or diabetes, a group that grows larger after 60, this can be problematic. Instead of stabilizing energy, cashews can send your glucose on a roller coaster, leaving you feeling drained and irritable. Third, cashews can interfere with nutrient absorption. Compounds left from processing may trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals, which only adds to the burden of chronic inflammation common with age. So while cashews taste like comfort food, they're not the kind of comfort your body needs after 60. It doesn't mean you have to banish them forever, but moderation is key. A sprinkle on a salad here and there is fine, just don't make them your daily nut of choice. Now that we've covered the 4 nuts that may quietly sabotage your health, let's turn the page. Because the good news is that 4 other nuts can do the exact opposite, protecting your heart, sharpening your brain, and even improving your sleep. Let's start with number 4 on that list. Pecans often get overlooked in favor of almonds or walnuts, but they're actually one of the most powerful nuts you can eat after 60. Why? Because they're loaded with antioxidants. Some of the highest levels found in any nut. Antioxidants protect your body from oxidative stress, which plays a huge role in aging, memory decline, and inflammation. Research shows that pecans help reduce LDL cholesterol, support brain function, and keep blood vessels flexible. Their healthy fats are easy for the body to process, and they bring along fiber to keep digestion smooth. Pecans are also rich in manganese and thiamine, nutrients that support energy production and nerve health. For seniors, that means more vitality and less fatigue. A small handful of pecans a day can do more than satisfy your sweet tooth. It can actually slow down age-related decline. And unlike Brazil nuts or cashews, pecans are much safer to eat daily. Toss them in oatmeal, sprinkle them on salads, or enjoy them as a crunchy snack. But if pecans are brain and heart protectors, the next nut adds a whole new layer of defense, especially for your eyes. Pistachios may be small, but they're nutrient powerhouses. For older adults, they're especially valuable because of their lutein and zeaxanthin content, 2 antioxidants that protect the eyes. These compounds are crucial for preventing macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss after 60. But that's not all. Pistachios improve artery flexibility, help lower blood pressure, and support cardiovascular health. They also provide plant-based protein that's gentler on the kidneys than some other protein sources. For seniors who need to balance protein intake with kidney function, pistachios are an excellent choice. Another bonus, pistachios are naturally lower in calories compared to many other nuts, which makes them a satisfying yet waste-friendly snack. Plus, the act of shelling them slows down eating, which can help prevent overeating. If you want a nut that supports your heart, your vision, and your waistline all at once, pistachios deserve a place in your pantry. But pistachios aren't the only brain-friendly option. The next nut we'll cover is practically tailor-made for protecting your memory and keeping your nervous system strong. Almonds are one of the most popular nuts for a reason. They're rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects brain cells from damage. Vitamin E has been linked to slower cognitive decline and better memory function, both crucial as we age. Almonds are also a great source of magnesium, which plays a role in over 300 processes in the body, from nerve signaling to muscle function. For seniors, magnesium helps regulate blood pressure, stabilize cholesterol, and even promote better sleep. Another hidden benefit: almonds act as a prebiotic, feeding the good bacteria in your gut. A healthy gut reduces inflammation throughout the body, which is key for preventing chronic conditions like arthritis, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. Snack on a handful of raw almonds or blend them into a smoothie for a brain-boosting start to your day. And while almonds are incredible, the final nut on our list outshines them all when it comes to protecting your brain and your heart. Walnuts are often called the ultimate brain nut, and for good reason. They're the only tree nut that contains significant amounts of plant-based omega-3s in the form of alpha-linolenic acid. Omega-3s are essential for brain health, reducing inflammation and lowering the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Walnuts also support heart health by reducing LDL cholesterol and improving artery function. They've even been shown to help with weight control and reduce risk factors for metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that includes high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and unhealthy cholesterol levels. But perhaps the most surprising benefit is that walnuts naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. For older adults struggling with insomnia or restless nights, walnuts can be a natural ally. A small handful of walnuts daily can protect your brain, your heart, and your sleep. That's a trifecta of benefits no other nut can quite match. So, let's recap. After 60, there are 4 nuts best to limit or avoid: macadamias, Brazil nuts, peanuts, and cashews. And there are 4 nuts you should lean on daily: pecans, pistachios, almonds, and walnuts. Making this simple swap can reduce inflammation, protect your heart, sharpen your memory, and even improve your sleep. Here's your challenge. Cut back on the 4 harmful nuts and add at least 1 ounce of the 4 healing nuts into your daily routine. Your future self will thank you with stronger health, clearer thinking, and more energy to enjoy life. Now it's your turn. Did any of the danger nuts surprise you? Which of the healing nuts will you start eating more often? Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll reply with personalized tips. And don't forget, hit subscribe for more health insights designed to help you thrive after 60.